everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes choosing between what the world wants you to be and who you are.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Budget Enthusiast, and today we're going to talk about Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that is supposed to take place between Civil War and Infinity War. So we get to see what Natasha Romanoff was up to in between that time when she was on the run. So I must say right from the beginning, it's a solid movie, man. I can't say too many things about it that are bad. I love just about everything about it. But just to get a little bit deeper into the story, we get to see more of what Natasha had to go through as a kid and in her time of being an Avenger. So it was actually very, very cool to watch. A lot of the dialogue between her and her sister were just some of my favorite parts. Like just the banter between those two. It's not really banter because banter usually means, you know, mean things, but they do say some mean things to each other.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
But it's nothing that's like over the top, but it's really well done. Just a solid story. Now, I like this movie. It's probably gonna rank up a little bit higher. Like I can see it creeping up my list now, just because it's a smaller, more intimate story. So it's nothing that's like Endgame or they got to go back in time and save the world 1,000 times. It's nothing like that. It's simply a small piece of a large puzzle, and I enjoy that aspect of it. It reminds me a lot of The Winter Soldier in its closeness. So what I mean by that is if you go back and look at Winter Soldier was simply a Captain America movie that was a little bit more grounded. So it was pretty much about him and discovering that Bucky was alive. And I'm sorry if you haven't seen The Winter Soldier yet. It's been out for a long time and it's on Disney Plus, so there's no excuses. But anyway, this story here with Black Widow is really intimate. It's definitely a story about her. It's not any other Avengers really in it. Like a whole thing dedicated to her and her family.
I tell people my sister moved out west. You're a science teacher. Your husband, he renovates houses. You're thinking about moving, but you're gonna wait until the interest rates go down.
That's not my story.
And I feel like it's a really good story arc that they're telling here. So if you look at her coming from Iron Man 2 all the way up till like now, you know, Endgame, it tells a really, really good story for Natasha. And I'm glad they did it this way. She went out with the bang. Like, this definitely was a solid movie. It had great action. It had humor into it. Like, they threw a bunch of little jokes and stuff in there. And they circled back to some jokes. It had ties to the greater MCU, but not enough to make it so that you're just paying attention to it simply so you can find out all the little extras that they added in there. This is definitely a Black Widow movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I highly recommend anybody that can go see it to go see it. Real quick, though, one thing that I'm a little disappointed with is how they handled the Taskmaster. Now, the Taskmaster in the comics and other media is super dope. Like, can mimic people by watching them. He can learn their fight styles. He is a beast. And this one, they didn't use him like I would hope they would use him. Like, he has the potential to be a straight monster in the MCU. And I was hoping that they would use him that way. I'm not going to give too many plot details because, you know, I do spoiler-free reviews. But I was disappointed how they handled the Taskmaster. But other than that, the rest of the story was just fine. It was small, it was intimate, it was specifically designed for something Natasha and her family could handle, which I thoroughly enjoyed. They didn't need to call in any other Avengers, even though at this point in time, all the Avengers were disbanded and like some people were locked up. You know, they made reference to it in there too. And it's a lot of callbacks to what has been going on previous to this particular film when it takes place. So, like, again, I can't say anything bad about it except the Taskmaster thing. It's not really that bad. When Taskmaster is on the screen, he's pretty dope, but I just wish they would have used him a little bit differently, like they do in the comics. Like, he deserves to have his own, be his own villain. Like, I love the Taskmaster. But check it out, please. It gets the Budget Enthusiast 2 thumbs up. You must go see this in the theater. If you have Disney Plus and you're willing to spend the $30 to watch it, hey, to each its own. But this deserves to be seen in the theater. And, you know, I know some people are still afraid to go to the theaters these days. Just please try to support your local theaters if you can, because we don't want those things to disappear, because we were on the verge of them disappearing last year. So we want to keep movie theaters around. So if you can go watch it in the theater, please do. I know theaters are expensive, but it's well worth it, and we would want our kids and our kids' kids to be able to go to a theater instead of having to watch everything at home. The theater experience is something that is unparalleled. So please go see this movie. It is excellent. It gets 2 thumbs up. Bar none. It's like it's a hell of a ride. I love it. So check it out, and as usual, take it easy out there. Stay safe. Peace.
I'm done running from my past.
The Budget Enthusiast. Boy DV. The Budget Enthusiast.